Hello, hello. Rickadoozle here. Our man, Nathaniel Wright, is currently taking a bow. And I kid you not, I mean like an actual bow. He's finishing up a show, and that's kind of why I had him on here. So let's get started. Hello, Jerry. Love to see you, man. Thank you for showing up and supporting. But yeah, so for those of you that don't know, Nathaniel and I, as well as Jerry, we are all contestants on So You Think You Can Tout. It's a reality show being held by a current tout, Pete Overzet. He was like, everyone's saying, hey, I can do better fantasy takes than you. I can do that. Why can't I be on YouTube all the time and get paid to say my takes? And so in February, in the dead season of fantasy football, where only Davis is streaming 4 hour, pre-draft best ball streams for the big board and the little board, he said, "Why don't I host a competition? Competition where people actually get a chance to be a tout." And so the first challenge was, just submit your submission video. And me and Nate kind of took different approaches at it. There were a lot of people that were like, hey, you got to know this, you got to know this. I pop, pop, pop. And I said, hey, why don't I be a little bit more calm-headed and, chill and just show that side of me. Obviously, I can have another side of me. But, I think we need a little bit of that. We need a little bit of, that little bit of dark skin energy in the space, too, in my opinion. But that's neither here nor there. Nathaniel heard an ambulance behind him as he was filming. And that was hilarious because he played off of that. He literally played directly off of that and kept going, kept the bit going. And he seemed like totally crazy at first, right? So you got this crazy guy who's on the show, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, no way he gets in. GM's Bindle. If you missed it, Nate will be here in a couple minutes. He's currently taking a bow on stage, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so he's crazy. I'm this chill dude. I haven't taken shots at anyone yet. I haven't said anything about anyone yet. I'm just like, I'm the brown Bob Dylan of fantasy football. People still don't know what it means. Honestly, if you don't know what it means, go watch my submission video. You'll figure it out pretty quickly. Fast forward, I'm a lock because I said PPR Tyler had Manosphere energy, and I did the pop, pop, pop thing, and then Emo Cowboy was like, woohoo, I want attention. And then he came and swore at me on his stream, and that evolved into some sort of beef where I fired back. We were on After Dark. I roasted him on After Dark for 75%. He came back in the last 25%. It was really entertaining. Went on Best Ball Jeopardy with PPR. I smoked them, but that's neither here or there. Both of them are extremely entertaining people. But I happened to get wrapped up in a beef with them, so I got to be a lock. Nate had to make a submission, and he surprised everyone with his submission. He comes in, and everyone doesn't think this guy knows ball. He's just sitting in this random room talking about an ambulance, like acting kind of crazy. And he asks him a take about Juwan Johnson. Pop, pop, pop. He nails the take. And then he's like, wait, that's actually not what you're being judged on. You actually need to tell me why this football player that you just said so many good things about is terrible at football. And because he's an actor, because he's able to think on his feet, he turned it around so quickly. And all of a sudden, it made a lot of sense. He said they added Jordan Tyson. He's got a lot more competition, Travis Etienne, yada, yada, yada. I'll let him talk about that a little bit when he gets on, but he gets through the next round. I made him a 50-1 dog to win the competition. He's now up to a 16-1 dog because he's impressed me. Recently, he went on Mitch Daigle, the commission's YouTube channel, and they interviewed him, and he's pretty chill. And I realized his background kind of aligns with some of my good friends. I went to a school where there was a good arts and acting school, and I dated an opera major for a long time. 2 years is a long time in college. And so I went to a lot of arts parties, and they were unique, and I met a lot of people like him. And if I met him at a party in college, we probably would have chatted and had a good time, drank a couple beers and made fun of some people while people watching at the arts parties. So I wanted to have him on. And I wanted to diversify my DK Millie portfolio, give him an equity share of that. And so we're going to draft a DK Millie draft. But first, we got to get him on. So what I want to talk about before then is it is May 27th. Everyone knows about the A.J. Brown thing. The other things you guys should be thinking of is Stephon Diggs met with the Chiefs and the Ravens in the free agency period. Usually the teams that players meet with, they sign with. Njoku met with the Broncos and the Chargers, then signed with the Chargers right after. If Stephon Diggs goes to the Chiefs, he's not going to be going in the hundreds anymore. Juwan Jennings signed. I don't know about Brandon Ayuk, but Deebo Samuel to me is a screaming target. And especially in these RB-heavy builds where we're forced to build RB-heavy because the draft board is condensing in the early rounds around these RBs with upside, we have to find some of our RB values late, some guys that can be chaperones, provide points late. So Stephon Diggs, Deebo Samuel going around, I think, 130 and around 168 on underdog. Great values to round out your underdog room. And those are two of the signings that could happen after June 1st. June 1st is a day where teams are able to restructure their cap. They're able to move some cap from this year into the next year. It's an interesting date, and everyone knows about A.J. Brown, but while everybody's focusing on that, why don't we focus on the other free agents that matter? The other things I want to point out, and I'm currently on the draft and on the clock in 80 drafts, is the puppy filled. So what's the next thing that's going to fill? Well, why don't I share my screen and we can take a look at the underdog lobby. Dashin's going to fill. Frenchie's picking up fill rate. This Pomeranian, it'll probably last till Friday. I'm not sure if it'll last till Monday. It's at about 32.8%. And am I sharing? I'm not sharing yet. Let me share. Here we go. Dashin, if you haven't entered this, I've maxed. It's going to fill. Enter it. Pomeranian, it's 32% full in 2 days. Probably won't last till Monday. Field General's filling. I have to think they're going to drop some more contests. But then the next one that I would keep an eye on underdog if I were you is the Pitbull. It's picking up. It's now 30% filled. It's a little bit of a bigger entry, but this is going to fill. So that's looking at your fill rates on underdog. Let's hop over to Draftkings, where we're going to be drafting today, and take a quick look at some of the contests there. We're going to go over here. I don't think I shared my screen on that one. Anyway, you got the idea. On DraftKings, this is super small. I'll make it bigger. The Tutties, those guys are really ripping through them. The Tutty 5, there's 5 of these time boxes. That's already half full. I put my ticket into the $5 because I had a DFS $5 ticket. But one thing you should look at on DraftKings, especially every time you go to DraftKings, you need to go to the rewards page. You need to go and click on the promos page because they're running promos all the time. Best Ball Millionaire Ironman, draft an NFL Best Ball $20 million millionaire lineup on 5 or more days between 5/24 and 5/31 to score a free ticket. So basically 5 drafts, you get a free ticket. That's 20% rate back. Now, they're already giving $375 back if you max the tournament. It costs $37.50. So that's $3,750 to max it. That's 10% back. Now, if you're stacking a 20% rake back on this, if they keep giving these promos, you could get 30% rake back on your DK Millie maxes. Right now, I'm through about 25 drafts. It's going to get to about 30 drafts after this Ironman, and I'm on track to get 30% rake back on my DK Millie entries through 30 drafts. But that's neither here nor there. I see Nathaniel has finished taking a bow on stage, and he's decided to join us, man.
Yes, sorry I'm late.
No worries. How was it, dude? How was the show?
Oh, it was a good one today. Nothing crazy went on, but that's all you can ask for a show like this. Just keep it the same every day, and you have it nice and easy.
So nobody like hugged you, put their arms around your neck, and like refused to let you go or anything?
Yeah. So the great thing about running away right after the show is don't have to do the meet and greet line. So no one's being weird to me after the show. It's great.
That's awesome, man. Now, did you enjoy the weirdness at the beginning? Like, did you enjoy the fan support, and now you're just like, let me go home?
Oh, let me be clear. I do enjoy when people come up and talk to me in the meet and greets and do stuff like that and are like, hey, we really love the show, or we thought this was interesting, or I don't know about this part of the show. I love it when people like engage with the material. I find it weird when people think that they have license to touch my body because they saw me perform a show. That's the only thing I think is weird.
Yeah, it's like, hey, look, I paid for you. Like, I literally paid for you.
It is a service, not a good service.
Yeah, to do the service. Give me a hug, honey. Yeah, Nate. So why don't you talk about a little bit about your background? I kind of explained that you're in the industry and how you kind of came and so you think in Tout. Do you want to talk about that a little bit and maybe kind of how you came up?
Yeah, I mean, from a fantasy football perspective or from an acting perspective?
More interested in the real life perspective.
Cool.
But
Yeah, so I didn't actually know I was going to be an actor until I was in high school. Like I was very much into like more like nerdy stuff. I went to I got to go to a summer camp every year, and I went to this one at Duke University where we would learn like different economics. Like I did microeconomics, macroeconomics, and number theory. The 3 years I went, I was like a huge nerd until I really fell in love with doing theater in high school, and that just sort of swept me off my feet. I went to college for it at a very good school for musical theater, Shenandoah University. It was really weird being around people that were so much that they're just so incredibly talented. Like I've got someone in my year that's in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. One of my friends that was a year older than me was the understudy for Orpheus on Broadway. Just like knowing these people. One of my friends actually has a Tony nomination. If you've ever seen The Outsiders, he was the original Pony Boy. Yeah, he was the original Pony Boy in Outsiders the musical. He is a very, very interesting fellow. Much like Nick.
Nick, are you doing okay, man? Are you preparing for that third challenge already?
If he's preparing for the third challenge, I have some questions. I'm starting to wonder where my email is.
Yeah. So no, that's cool. I think a lot of people are wondering, like, dude, you're an actor. How did you get your fantasy background? That's because like you were an economics nerd early on, and so that makes sense from an analytical perspective because you definitely sound like you're a lot more than some of the arts kids I went to school with. You mentioned your dad moved to India when you were young. Obviously, I'm interested in that experience. Obviously, like, dude, no kid likes India when they're young because you're like, it's hot, it smells, it's polluted, like everything's crowded, the food's too spicy, like especially as a white kid. Like, did you move around a lot as a kid? And I guess did that affect your career choice?
I wouldn't say I moved around a lot. I moved like 4 or 5 times as a kid, which I'm sure to some people is a lot. But for me, it was just like it wasn't like we were military moving every couple of years.
Yeah.
But I mean, I look back very fondly on my time in India. Like as a kid from Texas that hadn't really left the state prior to that, it was very enlightening to just be like, oh no, society can just work in a completely different way that I'm used to. Like it's these people. There's a lot of people who live here and are very happy and have great lives living in a completely different culture and completely different understanding of like the rules of society than I do, which I think is something that, bringing it back to acting, is like really, really influential in being a good actor. Is like being able to understand that these characters, these people have very different thought processes than you, and that doesn't mean that they're like wrong or like non-human in a way. It just means that, you know, different people have different ways of perceiving the world. And I think especially when you like grow up into communities, it can be tough to get that like perspective. moving out there. But no, it was definitely a rough experience in the moment, just because it's so hard to change cultures like that. Like
Especially as a
I'm sure
kid,
it's
right? Like you're leaving all your friends and whatnot.
I'm sure it's just rough in any way that you're doing that, where you're leaving your friends, you're leaving everyone you know, and you're just like, I have to reinvent my life, basically.
Yeah, I definitely moved around as a kid a lot too. I moved to the U.S.
Mhm.
when I was 3.5. My parents were always looking for the best opportunity, and yeah, it was a lot of like I didn't really know it because I was so young at the time, but you get affected by having to make new friends groups. Like some kids are like, I have friends since I can as long as I can remember, or I know these parents, or I know these families. It's like I don't have that, man. So I definitely kind of feel where you're coming from, but at least having that culture experience is great. One thing I do
Oh
want to
yeah.
say about India, though, man, the value of life there is so low. There's like so many people that like nobody cares about each other.
I remember it was like my father was telling like an incident of one of his coworkers like dying on a train. Like a door, they were going to the bathroom, walked out of the door, a door fell open, and they just sort of fell off the train. Basically, is how it was explained to me when I was younger. And I remember the general sentiment from a lot of my father's coworkers were, well, this is obviously very sad, but I guess it was her time, and that's going to be okay. Like it's definitely very different how it works over there. Not I'm certainly not smart enough to say whether any of this is right or wrong. It's just it's different and it works out.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a thing that's so embedded in the culture that you really can't change it. It's just like, oh wow, that's what
Yeah.
happens here. So, um, the catches over here, the namesake with Cal Penn. Dude, like that was like my big comeback. Like you got to realize I was 8 years old when 9/11 happened, and like you don't get over that thing. Like that was a shadow hanging over me until the namesake came out, and I was like, dude, we're cool again. And then everybody was like, "Oh, like, did you ever get an offer to get your like eyes burned out for like money?" And I was like, "No, dude, no." But funny story, when I went to India with my family, I did get an offer. I was working at the gym there when I was like a little gym rat in
Mhm.
my teenage years, and like some dude like propositioned me. He was like, "Can you speak Hindi?" And I was like, "Nah, dude." And he was like, "Okay, don't worry, I'll teach you. Like, we'll make you an actor." And I was like, "Nah, man, I'm going to a good school. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to pass on getting like an acting career from a dude at the gym who in a gym that's not even AC'd." So anyway, in the time I was vamping, I did pop us into a draft.
Huzzah.
We are doing a DraftKings Millie draft.
Yes, sir.
See if I can get this over here. I'm actually going to reshare this screen and switch these around.
Yeah.
Second here.
It's certainly weird for me, like seeing the back end of these streams, because I've never streamed with StreamYard, so joining other people stream on StreamYards and being like, oh wow, there's a lot of things that you got to move around and figure out with when you're running this stuff.
Yeah. Cheers, Nick. Have a good time. Thanks for supporting. And yeah, we are in probably a shitty spot because I can't see my name right now. So we got more time to chat. Yeah, so I think that is really cool. Dude, I guess what can we talk about and what can we talk about right now? How do you feel about seeing like Evan Silva and Adam Levitan as judges? I know we talked about this a little bit, but
I can tell you right now, not a good run up for your boy. Not a good run up. I don't think we were, super off the walls, but I definitely think our creativity score was going to be higher than our content score. And I don't know if Adam and Evan will get all of the creativity that we poured into this the same way that, a lot of the other possible judges would have. But I think they're still going to appreciate it because I still am really proud of it, and I think it's a good piece of content. So,
do you think there was any chance you were going to convince Emo to do anything different than what he wanted to do?
Yeah, I honestly, we there was a couple of things in the show, in the video, that were my ideas that I think I was able to be like, okay, I really think, I promise you, I think this is going to be good. But he he came up with a lot of ideas. So much props to him being able just a very, very creative individual, I will say. Certainly off the walls.
Yeah, I mean, he is never one that you can say, oh, he's not creative. But I'm glad he was able to kind of work with you. Same with me and Jerry. We, like for example, had I worked with Emo, the product would have been a lot different than had I worked with Jerry,
Mhm.
right? And so, in a way, you got to see, okay, what is it that we do best together, and then you got to play off that because you can't really force a square peg into a round hole, and it's going to show, right? You got to be yourself, you got to be together. So, our strategy was like I mentioned, I worked 8 to 5, he worked 6 to 2 a.m. that week, so we had about a 1 hour overlap. So during my lunch break, he would effectively wake up a little earlier on time, and we would chat. We kind of got to know each other. We were brainstorming ideas. I think he got to film a little content on the weekdays. I filmed a little content on the weekdays. But then, starting Saturday morning, it was a 48-hour sprint.
Yeah, I mean, we had some of the same problems because I have night shows for a lot of my weekdays,
Mm-hmm.
and he has a real job, so it had a lot of the same like um, bouncing back and forth on times, but it ended up working out well. The only problem is we also didn't have the weekend like to sprint because I have multiple shows on the weekends. So I'm like, well,
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna film this whenever we can, and it's gonna we'll edit it together, and it's gonna be great.
Gotcha. So we're coming up on the clock here. We're going to get
Okay,
one of
I
Jefferson, one of CeeDee Lamb, and Genty.
I can't see the draft if I don't know if there's an
Oh,
easy way for
oops.
me to be able to see that.
Sorry. Yeah, you should have told me that.
Oh, there we go.
Genty, Achan, Saquon Barkley. Who do you like here?
I think of those guys, Genty's gonna be the number one for me.
Yep.
He's just good,
What do we do
and
next?
I'd be happy with any of Barkley, London, or Hampton. Like those would be my three guys here. So what are your
Barkley,
thoughts?
London, or Hampton? I've taken a ton of Genty, Barkley. I can do London or Hampton. Should we
Sure,
get a
let's do
wide
London.
receiver because it's
Yeah,
DraftKings?
yeah. I I think some of these running back prices are perhaps a little overinflated. So getting some good receivers, very happy to do that early.
Yeah. So yeah, going back to that, yeah, Emo. I think he works till he mentioned on like one of his streams like he didn't get out of work until Saturday evening.
Mm-hmm.
So like he works at a business, right? So he produces, from what I gather, he produces metal parts that go into. He's basically a contractor for NASA. He
Yeah,
produces
that's
metal parts that go into rockets. Pretty cool stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I was honestly like I still think Emo's a man child, but like I have a lot more empathy for I understand him now. Like I understand why he's the way he is based on his upbringing.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I, I certainly had some criticism of Emo, and I stand by that 100%. I think the guy can be over the top, and not always be doing bits because he thinks they're funny, but because he thinks the audience will find them funny. But I think that he's really creative, and the number one thing I found when we working with him is he wants this. He wants it so bad, and I can't. You just can't take that away from someone when they just like you can just tell that it's like, oh, this is like deep instilled inside of him where he's like, I need this almost. And you got to have a lot of respect for that, especially when you're working with someone, because it makes them that much more motivated to show up to give good stuff with you to really work together well. So I'm like, I can have my reservations in other ways, but as a partner, he was phenomenal.
Yeah, and I think I even have to say like if he was somebody I would work with, he's definitely going to put in the effort.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as somebody that I'm competing against, it's a whole different story. Like
Yeah.
I'm not sure it's as much. Obviously, he likes fantasy and he's good at it. I think what drives him is the attention, and I'm almost 100% sure of that. And it's based on his upbringing. I had a similar upbringing. Obviously, I wasn't homeless for periods of time, but I was very poor for periods of time. And
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, Josh Allen at the 211. Okay, we got a draft. We got a DraftKings
Yes,
draft.
sir. Love me some DraftKings.
Love me some DK. Yeah, but like whatever it is that motivates you, great, dude, great. Just you got to stay on topic sometimes. Yeah, I think that the contender group we have is great. I think if you ask me, dude, like I followed Evan Silva for 10 years.
Hmm.
If you happen to make Evan laugh or you happen to impress him, you've got a golden ticket, right? You're through because like Evan is not here to make friends. He is not
No.
here to be nice to you. He is here to help you win at fantasy football. And if you get offended, well, you can go cry on a napkin somewhere else. I guess somebody didn't get the Josh Jacobs news at 3-4.
Yeah, I was like, I was even curious what your thoughts were if he fell to us, if you would be willing to take him there. Like, I certainly wouldn't even be thinking about it at the 3-4.
Yeah, I mean, on this build, it depends on what the board looked like. If it went like if there's a wide receiver run before us, maybe. But
Hmm.
uh, yeah, so like I didn't think Evan Silva was ever going to be nice to anybody, but Levitan, I think he could enjoy the bits, because
Yeah,
like he's kind of a bit guy himself. So I'm really interested to see like what they actually think about our submissions. But when I heard Evan Silva, I was like, oh man, why did I go super analytical? Oh man, oh man.
oh yeah. Alex and Kurt Rambis are dancing in their little seats over there because I'm sure that was crazy but analytical.
Well, oh, man, I guess I know some stuff that I can't really let on, but like
Exactly.
I would be shocked if Rambus didn't have a couple beers before his video.
Yeah.
And like you got to stay on track when that happens. All right, we're up next. Best available by ADP: T. Higgins, Igbuka, McMillan, Javante, Garrett Wilson, Ladd. What do you think?
I think my number one pick here is Javante. I
All right.
think it's got a nice non-overlapping bye, gives us another running back, and then I would be either T Higgins or Garrett Wilson of the receivers. Um, I'm really not in on Igbuka, um, especially at this price. Like on Underdog, it's more acceptable, but at like in the third round, I'm like that's a lot. That's a lot to pay.
Yeah, well, Chris Godwin's getting some steam as well in
Mm-hmm.
the Coach Speak Index streets. So if he looks healthy, he's going to play the full slot. I don't, love Baker's ability to, really progress through an offense as much as he kind of plays off script. He's always going to
Yeah.
look for his guy close to the line of scrimmage when he rolls out. I think Ibuka's due for a lot of those more higher efficiency role like he had last year when he was running hot on touchdowns, but not necessarily a high volume role. Like the PPR role is Chris Godwin's.
Yeah, no, I'm much more in on Chris Godwin. Well, I'm not super familiar with DraftKings prices, but at least um, on the other side, pretty in on Chris Godwin.
Yeah. So I did say that I would give you a look at the odds board.
Oh yes.
Yes. So this is something that I said I'd give you as kind of like a favor to me for first of all why I came
Mhm.
up with this. I watched the board one and the board
Oh
two right
yes.
after each other, so I was just like, oh boy, that emo take aged really poorly.
Yeah.
um, and I'm gonna stop this screen and I'm gonna share another screen.
Got a new one. All right. Excited to see this.
We're gonna share this entire window. Oh. Yep, we're gonna move that out of the way. So here we go. Here are the odds. I haven't updated them yet, but you can probably see me update them in real time.
Oh,
So this is my little sheet that I have here.
is it? I
Um,
don't see it. Is it supposed to be up?
oh yeah, so here we go.
There we go.
Here's my little sheet that I have here.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty simple. These formulas are all in here. Um, I have emo at 10, even with me. I don't really want to move that. Who am I going to? Honestly, just like with the judges, like I don't think anybody could have done particularly well. I might shorten Neil Farley a little bit, put him up to 5.
Yeah.
Not 55.
55.
Because he's the most analytical person there. But this is what the odds look like right now. Is there anything that kind of sticks out to you in terms of something you might want to bet on the board? Obviously, you can't bet me because I can obviously tank that. A quick look at the draft board.
Yeah, make sure that we're not
there. Yeah, we got time.
Yeah. I think Mitchell is probably where I would go if I was placing a bet.
So you have a $10 free bet. You can break it up any way you want.
Oh, okay. If I can have two, then it would be Mitchell and Alex. I think those are the two ones where I'm like, I think they're really I think they have better odds than what you think. I think Kurt Rambis and PPR Tyler are the two people on the other side of the spectrum where I think their odds are worse than what your projection is.
Interesting, because Kurt Rambis is currently attached to Alex Cups in the Duo Challenge.
Yes, I'm aware. And my thing with Kurt is not that he's not going to make it far. And it could be a good bet if you can cash out later. But I think I just can't see a world where he ends up hosting a show. I just don't see it. He might be where in my mental odd table, he might be in last place.
So I think there's one other person that has put bets on here. He's got 100 on PPR Tyler. And I took that action.
Yeah, that seems like I think you'd be happy to take that action.
I can look for the other action, but let's take a quick look at the board. We're up in 2 picks. So I'll kind of display the action. Like, I am taking action on this, like reasonable action. I'm not taking like $1,000 bets on a 16-1 odd, but like I'll do my best to get you what you want. All right, we're on the clock. Quinshawn, Trevion Henderson, Jadarian Price, Carnell Tate, Bashal Tootin, Jordan Tyson, Marvin
I didn't
Harrison.
want another running back, but Quinshawn Judkins is just sitting there looking so sexy. So I think he might have to be the next click. And then one of the receivers, either Carnell Tate or Jordan Tyson. I think Carnell Tate's better, but I'm not.
You got no complaints from me.
Yeah.
Quinshawn Judkins, we got 8 picks after ADP. He's continuously falling, even though like he's a full go at OTAs, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And then, the refrain that I've heard from a lot of people, including, my partner Jerry, is like, I like to draft players on good teams. Guess what, buddy? This is not real football. This is fantasy football. Like, remember Blake Bortles?
Yeah, I like drafting players that score me fantasy points. I don't really care what team they're on, frankly.
So we're going to go Judkins and Carnell Tate, but let's go back to the main event. Mm-hmm. I'm looking up Gumby's bets. I have them booked somewhere. So he's got 50 on PPR Tyler. He also has 50 shekels. These are not real dollars, of course. Wink, wink.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be crazy.
And the last person he's got 25 on you, Nate.
Oh, nice.
So this one would pay out obviously 600 if he hits it. It would return 700 total. This would return about 350. This would return 35 for you, and this is your longer shot, would return 65. And the bet on you, I think, would return 25. That's 16-1. That's 400. 425. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our book right now. These odds will be updated. Honestly, I don't know if I can update them right now because I don't think a lot has changed. We will update these round by round, me and Blizzy. We might get on a stream to talk about it Friday. We'll see. I might not have too many updates, but the ones that I'm thinking of, and I'll keep these odds, stale while I'm thinking of these, is I am thinking of moving Emo a little bit longer. I don't necessarily need to move you any longer. I can kind of shorten the vig or the hold by moving Emo longer. Neil Farley, Tony Squares longer. I want to move Mitch and Goofy up a little bit, specifically just Mitch, not really Goofy. But basically correlation between the pairs, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of the pairs did well. I got to move both of them up. And I haven't really accounted for the duo challenge yet. So these odds are stale. I will let people essentially book them until, let's just say Friday. You guys got 2 days to bet on these stale odds.
Are you taking any of the information from the popularity contest X poll that's up right now into your odds?
No, no.
Okay.
I
Reasonable.
think that is just actually. Why don't you tell me? What do you think this popularity contest is about?
I mean, going on After Dark, I think is cool. I mean, great, sure. If we're going on After Dark, that'll be fun. I think there might be some nonsense going on the After Dark.
You don't
I
say.
mean,
You
I
don't
have I
say.
have I have no inside information, so this is just my guess as a competitor. I'm Mike. Obviously, my hope as someone who's currently leading the voting is, oh, you made it on the After Dark. You're safe for this week. Here's 2 submissions. Choose which one you want gone. Like that would be a dream. Um, but I do think that there's going to be something interesting happening there, and I am excited for it, whether I'm sitting at home or on the stream.
I think that Pete has no idea what's going on there. So, full disclosure into my experience on After Dark.
Uh-huh.
It was on, I think, a Tuesday or a Wednesday. Pete reached out to me, I think, that weekend, and I was literally ring shopping. So, like, I was like, yeah, cool, Pete, whatever you want to do. I didn't really read it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like, I read it, like, at night after a couple of drinks. And I was like, holy fuck. And, like, I was like, holy shit. And, like, I didn't really process it. So then Sunday, this is, like, maybe 2 or 3 days before After Dark, I'm like, oh, yeah. Like, I can do it. Cool. Yeah, this would be fun. Like, yeah, happy to do whatever. He doesn't, like, tell me, like, there's going to be, like, a rug pull. He just tells me I'm going to be on with these guys. And then, like, my thought is he's building the structure as he goes.
Uh-huh.
So, like, basically, the 2 days of the day before, I realized, like, hey, by the way, you're not going to come on eventually. You're going to come on at this point. All right, we're on the clock.
Mm-hmm.
Any stacks we have here? I think Dak Prescott just went.
Yeah.
Not a big deal. We are on a 0-3-3-0 build. So right now, my favorites are Jaden Reed.
Okay, great. That was going to be my guy as well.
And I could be convinced to go Tony Pollard and basically close out running back a little bit earlier, be good. Jalen Warren. I could do Justin Herbert and backstack. I could do Mahomes and backstack. What do you think?
I don't love the backstack options. I would probably go Warren.
Sounds good to me. I mean, I think the thing that probably is gross here that people don't want to hear is like the best points added play is Jalen Warren or Tony Pollard.
Mm-hmm.
And theoretically, you could go quarterback here. Like Mahomes is actually the most points added play, followed by Justin Herbert, followed by Jalen Warren, or followed by Tony Pollard, followed by Jalen Warren, followed by Jaden Reed. But the thing is, the way our stocks are lining up, we still have QB outs later. So a lot of people have Cam Ward ranked in the 140s, where he's currently ranked. Personally, gun to my head, Cam Ward, I would rank right next to Tyler Shuck and Baker Mayfield and Jordan Love. I think he's got sneaky rushing upside. I think the rushing upside people are associating with Tyler Shuck is a one-year phenomenon, and you're actually going to see it come through Cam Ward because he's just a much more athletic quarterback. And like you mentioned with Juwan Johnson, he's black. Tyler Shuck is white.
That's true.
They're just more athletic, man. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm just saying, my only worry with Cam Ward is I think he has just infinitesimally more bench risk than Shuck and significantly more bench risk than Love or Mayfield.
Hold on.
Like, that's my only worry.
Hold on. Are we hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Go ahead. Fire away.
Who is the Titans' backup right now?
Oh, he's not good. I'll tell you that right now.
I believe you, but I got to turn off ad blocker on this site. Our lads. Mitch Trubisky.
True. Oh, hey, that's a starting NFL quarterback. He started games.
Oh man. Mitch Trubisky, you should see him when he holds a clipboard, man. He looks so happy. Like, if I ever get a dog, I want a dog that looks at me the way Mitch Trubisky looks at his clipboard.
Hey, I mean, it's the cushiest job in the NFL, backup quarterback.
and he backed up Josh Allen. He was like, all right, you guys are up by 30 points. I can do no wrong.
Yeah. Nah. I mean,
oh, man, I can throw 3 balls into the ground, and I'm still doing my job. Now, they've got a lot invested in Cam Ward.
Yeah.
They're not cutting him after a second year. Trubisky's a career backup at this point. I think Cam Ward did the right things as a rookie. He kept his eyes downfield, and he took the sacks, but he kept looking for players downfield. He didn't always see them, and he definitely missed a lot of open people downfield. But the point is, he focused on the mechanics, and he took the sacks. In year 2, now he has those mechanics, right? Keep looking downfield, don't run. Now you're allowed to run, right? You don't like it's very, very, very rarely that a number 1 overall pick gets benched in their second year of quarterback. Like, it's generally in the third year where we give him 2 years. It's our number 1 pick because, listen, if he plays bad, guess what? Next year's quarterback class is looking pretty good.
Yeah,
like you want him to either be good or be really, really bad. You don't want Mitchell Trubisky to come win you 6-7 games.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, I think people are also people, including myself, are feeling a little bit, skeptical just because of the whole Bryce Young situation happening, and it's just such an easy, possible, aligned situation.
Yeah, I get it. It's just like Bryce Young is 5'10" on a good day. Cam Ward is, I think, 6'2". Yeah, 6'2", 219. Bryce Young height 5'10", 204, and that's generous. And 1/8 of an inch.
Oh, it's rough. It's rough when you're using fractions in your height. Oh, no.
Buddy, I'm 5'10" and 5/8. I don't even flex the 5/8. I just say I'm 5'10".
Oh, yeah.
No. Oh, man.
Are we actually – there's no way. This is absurd.
No, we're going to give Mahomes
I love Draftkings. I mean, if we get Mahomes to fall back to us, that's the easiest click in the world.
Yeah, I mean, it's to me, it's Mahomes, Kelsey here, but
yeah. The only thing I would even question you about is do you have any thought to going Mahomes Love instead of Mahomes Kelsey?
That was my second thought.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if we get there. We're going to get one of Mahomes Kelsey or one of Mahomes Love. Now that I have that second thought, we're taking Mahomes Love.
Okay.
Yeah, because Mahomes is the points added play, and then Love is our stack, and then I think Kelsey's fine, especially from an early season archetype build. I don't think Rashee Rice. I think he's gonna be fine. I think he's gonna return value in the 4th round, possibly 3rd round, but he's gonna need 4 weeks to ramp up. He's rehabbing in jail right now. Granted, there's 3 months before the season, but unless he's getting special treatment in jail, which I wouldn't put it past him, he's still not getting his personal trainers, the rest that he needs. He's not getting the bed that he needs. There's only so much you can get in jail. And he can't work out. He's not running routes with cones. He's not getting the proper nutrition. Listen, I guess we can't see, but my guess is that I would be shocked if he comes out to the season, and hits the ground running. What do you think?
I guess. I think that there's a lot of time for him to get better. My worry is more that this is just another example of Rashee Rice being a head case, and it's just mentally having to update the probability of, he gets a suspension mid-season, or he gets arrested mid-season, raises up. And that's more where I'm thinking, even if he doesn't have to ramp up, are we thinking that it's out of the question that Rashee Rice just randomly gets arrested weeks 11 through 14? I feel like that's entirely possible at this point. He just drives too fast and does some stupid shit again, and you're like, he's good, but he's a 0 because he's a head case. I don't know. I don't want to take him. I'm only taking him when I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, this is a guy that could possibly be top 3 at the NFL in fantasy points. And I'm getting him in the 4th round. I guess I kind of have to take him, but it doesn't mean I'm going to be happy about it.
So I like to think of these things as probability spaces. Imagine a probability space is a big bag, right? Mm-hmm. And you grab in the bag and you kind of know what's in there. It's like a bag of candy, and you're like, oh, yeah, I went to Halloween. Here's a Snickers. Here's a Hershey bar. Here's some M&Ms. With Rashee Rice, you're like, oh, yeah, and here's domestic violence. And you can't really tell what that is. Oh yeah, that's breaking curfew on the international game, right? Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like he's getting suspended for a quarter. Oh yeah, like it's just like you have no idea what's in the probability space. Like
Yeah,
it's just
but the
so
problem
wild.
is you could also reach in there and go, "Oh wow, this is the number one overall wide receiver in fantasy points." Like that, it's not likely, but it's there.
Well, here's the other thing I want to caution about that. Like a lot of the top wide receivers last year went down in weird ways. Like Justin Jefferson had J.J. McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
Amon-Ra St. Brown had an injury he was dealing with in the Waymo JMO hype. CeeDee Lamb had an injury. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow got injured. He had a secondary injury. So, like, it was a weird run out where Rashee Rice still was averaging, I think, 20 half PPR points a game or something like that. It was
Yeah.
heavily weighted by touchdowns. They would get to the end zone. I watch a lot of Chiefs games. I'm a Broncos fan. They would get to the
Mm-hmm.
end zone. They'd be like, "Oh, where's Rashee Rice?" Dink, right? And Travis Kelsey spent all summer doing whatever with Taylor Swift, completely out of shape. Basically, what he's doing this summer, like chugging beers. He was
Yeah.
not in shape to begin the season, and so he couldn't play that role. As the season went on, I think you would have seen the red zone opportunities decrease. But they were trying to get him touches in the red zone. Those are the easy touches. He doesn't need to run big routes. He just takes a couple steps, cuts, boom. That's how he gets into like when he came back from a 6-game suspension. And so I know he was on that tear. I think a lot of it was manufactured. And he averaged, I think, 53 yards of yak per game after the catch last year. That's only behind Puka Nacua. Now
Yeah.
he's coming off a knee cleanup and jail rehab. I'm not sure he's got that yak in him. I think he's more of a Patrick Mahomes yak merchant. They signed Kenneth Walker. I think they're
Mm-hmm.
still going to have that yak. I just think they're going to focus their game plan a lot more towards the run. And I think their pass rate over expectation is going to drop given that they drafted 2 defensive rookies in the first round this year.
Seems like reasonable analysis to me.
That being said, if he goes in the 30s, he's probably a buy.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. It's like I don't want to buy this guy, but there's a point where you have to. I'm assuming you want Cam Ward here.
Yeah, I want to get a little bit more Cam Ward in my portfolio.
Yeah.
Close out
Cam Ward
quarterback
sounds
here
good.
because it gets gross after this.
Yeah.
We are at a 2-4-4-0 build. Who do you like here outside of Cam Ward?
Oh, it's disgusting. I mean, Diggs would be fine.
Dude, before you got on, I was just talking about Diggs and how he visited Kansas City and how he visited the Ravens. And June 1st is the date where teams spread their cap from this year to next year.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, that's why Diggs is waiting to sign so he can get more money.
Yeah, I'm like, I think Diggs, if he goes to the Ravens or goes to Kansas City,
He's gonna be
probably
in the
goes
90s.
up a couple of rounds. So I'm happy to take him.
I mean, Candyman tweeted this earlier, but like, quite literally, he was wide receiver 16 on a points per game basis last year.
Yeah.
He's going as wide receiver 56.
I mean, people just hate uncertainty so much. Like, oh no, I can't stack my guy. What a tragedy. Yeah, if he gets 5 more fantasy points per game than everyone else in the region, it doesn't matter if you're stacking. Like, that's so much more important.
Yeah, well, you know what else has uncertainty? Trevion Henderson. Ramondre Stevenson is still there. Ramondre Stevenson was a better success rate runner and a better receiver than Trevion Henderson. But oh no, Trevion Henderson's got to go 30 picks before Ramondre because he's young and's got upside.
I'm going to look at my exposures. I legitimately may have 0% Trevion Henderson. I hate him at cost. I despite being 25, I am a boomer this year, at least in that scenario. I mean,
you're 25, man? That's good. You're young.
Yeah, young buck.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I have none in the eliminator draft.
Stephon Diggs is going to be a Patriot after June 1st, and nobody's going to care about A.J. Brown for a while. And that's going to let us continue to buy A.J. Brown in the 3rd round after June 1st.
Yes, I just looked it up. I have 1 draft of Trevion Henderson for a total of 0% exposure. I am about 300 drafts deep this year, and I have 1 Trevion Henderson share. So come and flame me for that. I'm sure there is the Trevion Henderson lovers are going to say that I'm a complete moron, but
yeah, I've taken Trevion Henderson just because I want to get Drake May megas before the price moves. So I'm trying to get them in main contests, DK Millies, BBM, things like that. I entered 30 BBM so far. I might, if I get a chance to do a couple more fasts before the first, I might enter up to 50, but then I'll probably just lay off of it because like right now you're drafting with the same people over and over again. I think you got some people drafting for the Jacobs news, but that's about it.
You may have already drafted more BBMs and DK Millies than I will the entire year. I'm not a big Millies person. Frankly, I don't have the money to be putting in, $37.50 into maxing.
I mean, that's 10 full weeks of work, man.
Yeah, no, like legitimately, I'm like, I love myself some gambling, but the responsible gambling number is in here. I need to like actually think about what.
So you think that the Eliminator will give you a higher ROI than BBM? I mean, that's pretty much true, but
yeah, and I think by focusing on it, like that's where the thing is, because I think most people that draft the Eliminator draft it as an accessory to the main contest. They're drafting a lot of Pomeranians and puppies and BBMs. But if I'm just going in and like my default mindset is for the Eliminator, I think that gives me a little bit of an extra edge there. And it's more fun.
Yeah, it is definitely a better sweat. Did you by chance happen to watch the Purple Yosh Best Ball Bash episode last year where he was like, I just focused on the Eliminator and then he won it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was like, I hope to bow down in the presence of our king Purple Yosh one day.
Well, I know who we're picking here if he gets to us.
Oh yeah, you better believe it.
Yeah, so we don't need to talk about that. But yeah, Nate. So I guess what I will ask is, how do you kind of budget for all your fantasy football entries? Like, you get free housing, you get free food, so the money you get goes straight to your bank account. Like, I think bankroll management is something that people are interested, not just for themselves, but to kind of hear how the touts do it. I personally, I work a corporate America job. I make 6 figures. I don't really have to bankroll manage a lot, so I wouldn't really listen to what I'm saying.
Let's go.
Before we do that, let's click Juwan Johnson. Do you want to make any funny noises for getting Juwan Johnson?
Woo!
Yeah, 5 pick a woo at the 150s, baby. I was gonna say like oink oink, little piggy. Let's get it in. Who else here?
Oh dear. Sidekick maxing by taking Schultz, but they have the same buy. I'm not super in love with that. We could like finish the running back room with Davis's favorite pick, Keaton Mitchell.
All right, Keaton Mitchell. I'm okay with that. Is there anybody that's speaking to me?
I'm not married to it.
Trey Tucker. Tucker. We're stacking the Raiders. The wide receiver one on the Raiders. We're taking sneaky wide receiver ones. We just passed on Jalen Naylor because Jalen Naylor is not a good wide receiver.
You cannot pay someone to be good.
Bankroll management from Nathaniel Wright, the actor himself.
Well, I've had a lot of experience in bankroll management because I've played poker for a very, very long time, pretty much since I turned 18. And I have been like sort of trying to manage my bankroll for that for a while. I think it's a big mixture of like understanding, like truly being honest with yourself about what your ROI and variance are that you're willing to tolerate. And then just going in with a plan and being like, okay, this is how much I could lose. And this is how much I am going to lose in the 95th percentile outcome is sort of where I'm at. Because I'm like, sure, theoretically, if I max the Eliminator, I could lose $1,500. But in reality, I'm not losing $1,500 ever. Like, I think the bottom 95th percentile outcome is closer to losing like $1,000. And that is something that over, 3 months of drafting and, being able to budget out my paycheck, that's something that I'm like, I can withstand that. And I can be happy with withstanding that. And I can say that that is my entertainment. And I just will not go out with my friends to movies. I will not be doing this, that, and the other thing until I start getting those pay bumps in. And I can go, okay, now the situation's changed. And I have also something that is important for me is that I have a wonderful family that I'm still young enough to, if things go really, really south, I can be like, please, I need help. And they're loving and able to be able to do that.
The Eliminator. I lost some of my money playing poker. Can I please live rent free?
Yeah, they're not going to be happy about it. They're gonna be on my ass about it. But it's a very different situation than I've lost all my money playing the Eliminator. Now I am homeless. Now I am sleeping on the street, and it's a blessing to have that be the situation that I'm in rather than the alternative.
Well, that's a really smart way to think about, like, what's the max I can lose? What do I expect to win? And will I be upset if I lose the max? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, I mean, people who gamble should be thinking about this all the time. Whether or not they do is obviously something separate. But you can't, at least in my mind, you can't call yourself like someone a gambler unless you're actively thinking about, or at least an advantage gambler, without thinking about, okay, what happens if shit goes sideways? Because especially in like these single slate, effectively best ball tournaments, shit can really go sideways. Even the best players have shit go sideways on them. So if you're not prepared for that, then you're really opening yourself up to having a bad time.
variance is real, and we play fantasy football online, so it's very real.
Yeah.
Best on call. I think you just said you subbed to me. Well, thank you, sir. I could use all the subs I can get. I got like less than 20. Yeah, I'll produce content. I don't know what my main form of content is going to be. I think I'd rather give you content more focused instead of streaming all the time. But I will be on streams. I think I'll probably be more on guest streams and have more streams like this where I'm interviewing people and talking to them. I really kind of enjoy that aspect of things. So thank you for subbing if you did, and thanks for coming by.
It's definitely interesting with like, and we can talk about this after we make our pick, but like there was like a group of us that are like didn't have like a YouTube channel, didn't really have a lot of like talk in the community that are still in So You Think You Can Tout, and there's still a lot of people that are like, oh, I have 4,000 subs, and it's like I sort of want to hear your thoughts on like the differences between that. But first, we have to make a pick.
Gunnar Helm here to stack with Cam Ward.
Gunnar Helm sounds great to me.
A little upside there with the rookie. I don't know if he's going to get any points, but normally the best points added picks here are tight ends. So Gunnar Helm, Pat Freiermuth stick out to me. AJ Barner is technically good, but I can never trust him. Do we want to double tap tight end here?
If we're doing Freiermuth, I think that's fine because we're betting on the Pittsburgh
Titans Steelers.
Yeah.
That's bye week 11. We have Johnson at 8, Gunnar Helm at 9, Freiermuth at, I believe, 11. No, Freiermuth is 9.
That's fine, I think.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Just trust Juwan Johnson week 9.
It's a 1,000 person tournament in week 17, so it's basically like a DFS slate.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so like we're seeing clearly in this fan vote, right, that the people who have bigger followings, that is going to play a role, especially when the voting numbers are low. I think right now, I can kind of look if I'm logged in on X here. The voting numbers on So You Think You Can Tout. Yeah, I am logged in.
Huzzah.
This is my Twitter. Feel free to follow me. My wonderful AI-generated photo thumbnail for this. Dude, I had to like really coax myself. Like they were making me like too dark, too fat, and I was like, you know what? I'm okay being fat. But look, there's only 64 votes, dude. Like the Toxic Tower has 700 subs alone.
Yeah.
So like this is not at all surprising to me, which is fine. I think you guys would be great television. This is not at all surprising to me. Well, this is a little bit surprising to me. This is not, because Goofy has a following. I think he grouped the people that don't have as much of a following. Like Jerry has a little bit of a following. And I voted for you guys, as you can see the check mark here, myself.
Much appreciated.
Tout fantasy tout therapy between me and Emo, and I think Jerry could showcase his skills of bringing that love back into the equation. I'm not sure you fully buy it, but
I'm really interested to see Jerry on like when we see your submission and as he goes further, like because I've seen his streams, but I've never had the time to like actually like sit down and really watch it. But he seems like a really interesting character, like someone who's not super crazy but can lean into the bit when needed. He seems like a cool guy.
I think that's a good read. I think the people that have been following So You Can Tout, they're really going to enjoy our submission.
Mm-hmm.
I won't call it like a banger or whatever, or like it's gonna kill. I think you guys will really enjoy it one way or the other. But yeah, I think the emo cowboy and you and Cups and Rambus, I think that's gonna be fun because you and Cups are gonna be sitting in the background like eating popcorn and just watching Ramby and fucking emo go at it.
Well, I don't know about that because Rambus has been posting his teams on Twitter, and every time he does this, I find great joy in being like, "You're an idiot." Like today, he posted a team that started with JSN, Bowers, Loveland, Javante, and Bucky Irving, and he's like, "Oh, how could you possibly roast this team?" And I'm like, "It's really quite easy, actually. If you insist." Taking 2 tight ends in the first 5 rounds, probably a bad choice, especially when one of them might be the third receiving option on their team. And also, taking a running back in the 4th round who very possibly could be injured at the start of the season. Curious. And we have, we're not sure that Bucky has the goal line role, and we're not sure that he has the pass catching role. So I have some serious questions about Mr. Kurt Rambus's actual takes.
I mean, Kurt Rambus won a couple grand in the Eliminator last year, so I think it'd be fun if you guys did a stream together. I could probably make that happen. I could have you and Rambus on a stream together and just mute myself, or like put myself backstage, like Pete did, and just be like, "You guys have fun. Just tell me who you want to pick, and agree on it. Otherwise, you're auto drafting."
I guarantee you that would be a wild time.
Yeah, we're not doing a millie for that. We'll do like a study. That's actually a good show idea. I might do that.
Yeah, if we can make it work, I'd love to do it.
Yeah, so let's see what's going on with the board here. But I'll continue that thought in a little bit. Yeah, listen, some of the show Pete mentioned, it's going to come down to who you know, right, and how your platform is. Mm-hmm. Pete was afraid that this show wouldn't be like fun enough, right? The people that didn't make content wouldn't be able to produce like good enough media without the people that already make content. And that's like a valid fear. I don't think he's afraid of that going into season 2. I think season 2, whether you're a content creator or not, you're going to be on a level playing field. Whereas I think this year, some people, they're in here to kind of make sure that the field stays interesting. So,
yeah, it's
go ahead.
It's interesting. We'll talk about the picks and then we'll go on this because I want your thoughts on Darnell Mooney.
I'm good with Darnell Mooney. He's an early season production guy. I like Trey Harris because he has a week 17 with Mahomes. Okay. Generally, you want some sort of correlation there.
Yeah. No,
but we don't have him. I'm good with Darnell Mooney here.
Yeah, I'm just like I haven't been able to decide. This is legitimately a question. It's not something I'm super in on Darnell Mooney. I'm trying to decide between him and Fields, like who I really think is going to be that, like really helpful.
One is early season, one is late season.
Yeah, but are we really sure that Malachi Fields is going to actually be late season production when Malik Neighbors is possibly coming back? Like that's where I'm like I'm leaning Darnell Mooney right now, but I'm not sure. Are we doing a 5th running back in this build?
I don't think we're doing a 5th running back here.
Okay.
I think the other thing I would consider is a 4th tight end because that's going to add the most points.
Okay.
We have 8, 8, 9, 9, so we need a non-week 8 bye.
Dulcich maybe.
Dulcich? I'm cool with Dulcich.
Yeah, I like him over the Rams tight end. Like, if you made me pick a Rams tight end, it'd be Ferguson.
Oh, shit. I drafted Malachi Fields. Oh, well. Well, we did both of them.
We got we're just hoping that Malik Neighbors just never plays football again, I guess, on this team.
Yeah, we'll get some points. Well, we got 2 more picks. We can get a tight end and a running back. We can land this plane.
Yeah, no, this is definitely. I don't know if you watched me and Emo's stream on Fantasy Sanctuary the other day.
I watched most of it. I don't think I got to the end of it, but
yeah, the end of it.
Also, what is big piles of shit? What is big piles of shit?
Huh?
No, okay, you don't know that. It's probably an inside joke from like the Toxic Tower or some shit. I think he called some contestant like big piles of shit, and I was like, dude, if he calls me that, it's back on like Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I can imagine that wouldn't go over particularly well.
Yeah, but I watched a stream. You were saying?
Yeah, I just brain farted and took Saquon Barkley and Tank Bigsby on the same eliminator team, and we're like, yeah, that was really bad. That was not good. This is not bad.
Yeah, I don't think I got to the Tank Bigsby pick, but yeah, no, like I don't think this After Dark really matters that much for the contest. I don't think Pete knows what the hell he's doing with it. I think it depends who gets on. Um, if you want me to be very honest, I think if these current standings hold, if Cups and Rambus and you and Emo are on, I think some elimination will happen.
Interesting.
I think if it's Commission Goofy and you and Emo, I'm not sure how he would work that. I think he's probably rooting against that.
Yeah, I hope there's no elimination if it's between Commish Chicken, me, and Emo Cowboy. Because as much as I think I've done a really good job and won some fandoms over, I think all of those guys have significantly more following than me, and I think it might be, at least if it's in the chat's hands, I think that might not be good for me. If it's in Pete's hands, I think I got a good shot.
It's one of those things that's like, it'll be pretty similar because it's going to be you and Emo. I mean, Rambus is going to be kind of fighting you and Emo, and I don't think Cups is going to really want to get involved. I think Cups is probably a favorite, and he'll probably get voted out. But like, it might be like something like you, like Rambus versus you and Nate, and if Rambus wins, like he gets to choose one of you to eliminate. But if you guys win,
choose one of them.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think that's like the creative aspect of it. So, but I don't think there's going to be an elimination. I wonder if like if you get on After Dark, you have a chance to like win like immunity from the next challenge. Because that's not an aspect that's been played yet, right? Immunity.
Yeah, and that's like very like classic Survivor reality TV show is the immunity idol or whatever.
Yeah, you could basically say like, even if you get eliminated this challenge, if you get the lowest score, you get immunity. Because like this, I think is going to be the worst elimination for the rest of the show outside of 2-1.
Yeah, I mean that was a bloodbath.
Oh, dude, you guys! I mean, you survived the ringer. It was 80% cut, and then it was almost 40% cut.
Yeah.
So like, you guys got to the hard part. I think there's going to be at max 4 people cut here because there's about 10 weeks left, right? 10 weeks left. 12 people. That means 2 cut in 1 week. 1 to the end.
And that seems like the pace you would want. Like, and that's like absolute max for this week. I would guess that 2 or 3 people go home this week.
Yeah, for me it's like 4 to 6. 6 I could see if you want to get it down to 10, but like, man, that would be brutal. But I think if it's like so they'll know the scores going into Friday, right? It's just editing and stuff that'll take until Monday. So like they'll know who's at risk of elimination. So like based on that, if it's like a couple people that's risk of elimination, they could give them that immunity token. So I think that would be my strongest guess now that I think of it.
Yeah, these players all suck.
Yeah, they all suck. Damn, they all really suck. Let's take a look at running back. Anybody you like here?
Nope.
I can convince myself on. Oh, we got to pick somebody. Demond Claiborne, I guess?
Sure, I guess. I mean, Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason aren't there.
Let's take advantage of the Josh Jacobs news, and then let's get a tight end. Let's focus on the tight end here.
I don't think Kittle's coming back for a while, so I would not hate Tonjes.
Yeah, Tonjes has the same bye as Juwan Johnson, though.
That's true. So if you want somebody else, feel free.
Eli Reardon comes up a lot in Sims. I'm just going to take him.
Interesting.
Got a week 11 bye.
I don't
Probably
know
could have done better than that, like late season. But yeah, he could be a 0, but I think he's a fine 20th round pick. So
yeah, I mean, most 20th round picks are 0s.
Yeah, let's recap the team. We start off with Ashton Genty, Drake London, Javonte Williams, T. Higgins, Quinshon Judkins, Carnell Tate for running back, wide receiver through 6 rounds. And then we went Jaden Reed, followed by Jalen Warren. So 4-4 running back, wide receiver. And then we got a falling Patrick Mahomes at 108. Took him effectively naked. Stacked Jordan Love with Jaden Reed. Cam Ward with Carnell Tate. But we didn't actually get a naked Mahomes because Stephon Diggs is going to be a Chief after
Mhm.
June 1st because Rashi Rice is a fucking idiot. Juwan Johnson, because that is Nathaniel Wright's player that got him through the contender challenge.
Mhm.
Trey Tucker, because I think he's the wide receiver one of the Raiders. Gunnar Helm to stack with Cam Ward. Pat Fryermuth for the Week 17 bring back to the Titans stack. Darnell Mooney and Malachi Fields, because we couldn't decide between one of them, so we said Por que no los dos.
Yes, sir.
Chris Brooks, because the board looked so ugly, we were like, let's take the guy that might benefit if Josh Jacobs is actually in jail. And then Eli Raridan, because the Sims like him.
Yeah,
and we did the non-8 or 9 by tight end.
Looks good to me. I'd be happy to draft this team.
Yeah, I mean, this 20-round pick, like if we didn't have wide receiver, our options were pretty good. Chris Brazil, Pat Bryant, Tyquan Thornton. But because we were already because of this misclick of Malachi Fields, I think it limited our possibilities. I think we could have gone Greg Dulcich here, which would have left us with maybe even 2 wide receivers or Chris Brooks and a wide receiver.
I would have been
better.
Yeah, I would have been caping hard for Pat Bryant there. I think Pat Bryant's a great 20th round pick.
Gotcha. So, yeah, I guess the last things I want to talk about before we head out. Do you have to head out now? I just want to be conscious of your time commitments.
Yeah, no, I got about 5 minutes.
Got it. Yeah, anything you want to talk about going into the So You Think You Tout challenge? Anything you want to tell the audience? Anything you want people to know about yourself here?
I think that, the biggest thing for me is just I think it's important to tell people how much of a whirlwind this is. Like all these challenges on top of each other, it's a fun time. But I'm sure a lot of the other contenders feel this way. Like I did not fully get what I was signing up for until now, but it has been like a dream come true. Like I'm having so much fun, like putting the board up and having different things with the board and having that little art project. I'm having so much fun, like doing these streams and putting up these videos. Like it is such a blast to do this. And it is just such a fun time that I'm like, I just want to, even if things go poorly with the competition, it's given me motivation to just keep on putting out content, keep on having just like a fun time with this community drafting fantasy football. Because I didn't know about a lot of these people and a lot of these, channels and stuff beforehand. It's just like, I think what Pete's done with it has just been like the community building aspect of it has been great. Like wouldn't have met, Mitchell or you or Tyler, which are all people that I'm like, I would draft another team with these guys. This is, fun to just talk ball with.
Yeah, I think that's what I realized about streaming. It's like, you're going to do a draft. Why not do a draft with your friends? Like, if you want to split equity like Pete does, great. If you just want to draft and have some input, I think that's fun too. Like, me and Jerry did some drafts where it's like, yeah, like, whatever. And I'm not really into streaming on, like, a schedule. But, like, if I want to draft with somebody, if I want to get their takes, I think it's a great idea. But going back to the challenge, like, yeah, like, I said, like, it's been a fever dream, man. And I've had swine flu. Like,
oh, man.
The emotions up and down, like my girlfriend hated it at the beginning. She was just like, I hate that you're doing this. Like, it's so annoying. And like this last weekend, she was in Nashville partying with her girls. And she was like, oh my God, you're working so hard on this challenge. Like, do you need anything from me? Do you want to call me? Do you want to talk to me? And like, she's being so supportive now. It's like really, really wonderful. Like, they can really see how much we care about this, the effort, and like the emotions, the highs and lows, like they're part of it. Like, we got to have fun. And I'm glad you're having fun too, and this was a lot of fun, Nathaniel. So thanks for joining me.
Of course, man.
Let's do it again sometime. I will do my eliminators in August, and you will be the guy that I reach out to.
Oh yeah, you'll be welcome anytime.
All right. Until then, best of luck. Until I see you again.
Yeah. Peace.
Cheers.